Flesh and blood didn't reveal it to you. We need to have an information. We need to have a revelation. We need to have intimacy with the one who's sovereign, the creator. We need to see him in his might and his strength and his power. We need to see him high and lifted up. Paul did. Paul seen him in Ephesians 1. Giving him a name not only in this age, but the age to come. Giving him a name that's above every name. He's seen something. That's why he was able to walk in that dimension of power. And I believe we haven't got the full revelation. And that's what I've been asking God. I want to see that. I want to see you in your sovereignty. I want to see how you slung the stars and set the waters, and they don't even come over the shores. You know everything. You know the gravity is set. Galaxies we can't find. Call them what, dark holes, black holes, or whatever we call them, Milky Ways, and all that other stuff. I believe if we get that dimension of grace, I think when a trial comes, we'll be like, "Are you kid? Come on, you don't know about that? Get that, please. Oh man, come on now, talk to the hand. Just smoke on my shoes. Get on out of here. Dirt underneath my feet." But we got to get to that point. We need to see it's not an action on our part, but it's a sovereign part. It's on his part. It's a sovereign move. I like this what C.B. Kruger said. We don't make him Jesus part of our lives. Jesus already did it. Made us a part of his. Heaven and earth have permanently been rewired with the incarnation of Jesus Christ. I've been rewired. That's why I got to be renewed in my mind, because I have faulty wiring. So he had to go on the inside and pull it out with his hand by his spirit and rewire me. We have been born again, raised up from the dead, seated in the heavens. This is what living is. We just got to believe it. And once we believe it, we got to begin to live in it. Not of this world. Not of this world. I have no, let me just put it this way, make it plain. I honor my assignment in the earth, but I worship God. I have no credence with my environment or my livelihood, but I worship God. It takes a whole lot to get on that level. To have your mind changed and for God to renew our mind with that. My goodness, my goodness. And that takes us, we have to be enlightened. Tell your neighbor, we have to be enlightened. I told you we said New Age terms. We use those. We got to be enlightened. Ooh. You have to have awareness. Or you got to be awakened. Ooh. Those are biblical terms. If you go underneath the surface, not the English word, and go on the surface, you see the majority of the Greek terms are New Age terms. Or should I say New Age terms are Greek in nature. Okay. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 4. I'm telling you, if I asked you what was the greatest enemy to the church, what would you say? Thank you. I'm glad y'all said that. I know we know better. The devil. Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it. No, the devil don't make you do it. You wanted to do it. So you had to blame him. Remember in the garden, it was a woman. It was the woman did it. That's exactly right. Pass the blame. And I understand sometimes we're under demonic oppression and stuff like that. But it still starts with a thought. And we make provision for our flesh. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 6. I love this. Look, I love this whole chapter. It's so loaded. I can go from 1 all the way to the end. Because it's got a lot of stuff. And all in there is our Genesis. You would never think that, but that's what he's talking. He said, well, anyway, go to 6.
For God who commanded the light to shine out of darkness.
He did what?
Commanded
the light to shine out of darkness. That sounds similar over in Genesis 1, don't it? He commanded light to shine out of darkness. So we have darkness in the world, not because of darkness only. See, because what the problem is that we don't have enough light.
That's it.
That's why we still got darkness. Yeah, because once light come on, darkness has to go. And that's why that's what, like somebody said, we ignorant. Well, we need to get our understanding. But I found that no matter how much information you get, because we got some folks here that are very knowledgeable of scriptures. They don't have a knowledge of God, but they have a knowledge of scriptures. They have more knowledge of what I talk about, what I teach, and what I share. But that knowledge has become a god to them. It has become an idol. Because the more knowledge you have, the more intimate you are to be to whom the one is spoken of. So if the knowledge has in it information, then that information you got that becomes knowledge should make you more knowledgeable of the one who sent it. So as your knowledge or as your light increases, then you should have a greater respect for the things that God has given you. This is what happens to me. That's why even after 20 years, I'm still nostalgic. I can sit on the edge of my bed and say, boy, you took something like me and you're trying to do something awesome. And you know what? I'm trying to get out of the way as much as I can. I know I have some bad days. My good days outweigh my bad. But I thank you. You won't complain. But I thank you that you've given me a mind to be saved. That's what the saints used to pray all the time. Give me a mind to be saved. Not just religious. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, shine in our hearts.
That shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. In the who? Face of Jesus Christ. Not the face of your denomination, the face of your denominational movement, or the face of your reformational insight. None of that stuff. If it doesn't bring you to the face of Jesus Christ, you should see him clear and clear and clear and clear and clear and clear, without spot, without blemish, because his image is marred more than any man. And every time we say and we represent him as messengers, and we say this is who he is, the people that we're connected to and those that are listening to us should see his face more than our own. Verse 7.
But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us.
We have this treasure in what? Earthen vessels. I forgot the Greek word for that, earthen, but it's powerful. It said, so it's that we have this treasure. What is the treasure? The light of the knowledge of the glory of God. That's the treasure that's in us, right? So the glory of God is connected to light. The more light and knowledge you have, the greater the amount of glory. Okay, y'all see that? The light of the knowledge of the glory of God. Now, every time teaching is coming from either our pulpits, it should give us glory. Because Jesus' face represents glory. The more light we have, the more knowledge we have. The more knowledge we have, the more glory we have. God don't need glory. He is glory. And we create glory every time we place homage on him and honor on him. That's why praise and worship is important, because that releases glory. Not just knowledge. Light comes, information comes, knowledge comes. Out from the light is knowledge, then all of a sudden glory shows up. And we have this treasure in earthen vessels.